You want to laugh at Jordan Binnington?
Okay, go ahead and cough. Let me.
Okay, thank you,
No
thank you.
problem.
Let's. Okay, yeah,
So, if you haven't seen, Jordan Binnington did his thing again, and by thing I mean threw a temper tantrum
being
when.
a baby
when
after allowing too many goals and
see,
getting pulled.
yeah, and then it got to a point where I don't remember which goal it was, but he had let in I think his third straight goal, by the way. And then he started chirping at the Minnesota bench. After you got scored on, he was
Yeah,
chirping at the bench. Then he let in another one or two more after that. And after the goal, I don't remember which St. Louis Blues player it was that kind of went into him a little bit. And then he lost it. He went
do you
in
mean
and
Minnesota?
pardon. Yes, I mean Minnesota. Sorry, I
I
don't
think it was
remember.
Hartman.
Hartman. Okay, it was Ryan Hartman, first line center. Ryan Hartman,
Yeah,
um, who'd run into Binnington, and then Binnington lost it, and then ran into the celebration scrum, and
which
like
is
started punching
so
people.
dirty. I hate when people do
Which
that.
is a little bit of a scum thing to do. Won't lie. Um, why? So let me ask you this. I
Yeah.
saw the discussion on Twitter turn into something about personality for whatever godforsaken reason.
Okay.
It turned into about his personality. Don't get it mistaken. I don't have an issue with him acting like that. I have an issue with him acting like that every time he gets blown out.
Hmm.
Do you think like I'm trying to think who are some of the best trash talkers in the NHL?
Marchand.
Marchand. You
Yeah.
know when he's most effective? When his team is winning.
Not even just that. Probably when they're in it. When
When
they're
they're
in
in it.
it.
Okay, fine. Yeah, but they've been winning for like a decade now.
Yeah,
So like
that's fair.
fine. So when they're in it, even when they're losing and he throws and he does his thing, people are pissed
Yep.
off.
Yep.
The issue with Jordan Binnington is he only does it when he loses. He doesn't do it when he's winning.
Here's the
The,
thing: is we haven't even gotten to the goalie fight yet,
oh yeah,
or the
yeah.
non-existent goalie fight. So he ends
We'll
up
get
getting a
there.
two game suspension for this. Now he has never been suspended in the NHL before. I don't know if he has in the AHL, but that wouldn't matter anyway. So he's never been suspended and automatically got two.
Nor fined, I don't think.
That's outrageous. So first off, getting 2 games right away is extraordinary. You know, that's kind of unheard of. Unless I'm sure there's been some guy where out of the blue, but you just don't see that happen like that. I what would make me mad is I keep if you're a member of the St. Louis Blues, you're having a bad year. You got called up by your coach after all your best players got traded. Not all of them. You still got the young guy, but you know what I mean. Like your Conn Smythe winner, your captain, one of your most effective scorers of like the past 8 years in Tarasenko and then O'Reilly I've mentioned, but and then and then you've got to deal with almost on like a every fortnight you have to deal with this dude dragging you into a fight. Like I don't get why. Like somebody went over the timeline of Jordan Binnington's act, we should call it. I remember talking about the San Jose stuff on this show where I drew a diagram of where the tunnel that the Blues had to go off was and how Binnington changed his path to go fake punch Carlson, chirp the bench, then leave the tunnel after not wanting to fight Devin Dubnik. It's just listen. I'm okay with him being a bit of an unlikable dude.
Sure.
I like villains. However, villains need to get their comeuppance eventually, and being pulled just isn't enough. It hasn't
But
stopped him. His coach calling him out didn't stop him.
yeah, and he's been called out twice. This team has been called out individually, and then Berube literally called out the team a month less than a month ago.
Mm.
I just I have no issue with how he's acting. I just have an issue. It's every single time he gets blown out. That's not personality. That's acting like a baby, man. Come on. Like, I don't understand. Like, you are, and he's not even having a good season. Like,
He
you bring
hasn't
up
for a couple of
Marchand.
years.
You brought up Marchand. You know why it's so fun? It's so, well, listen, as a hockey fan, I'm sure it's enjoyable. As a Leaf fan, and I'm sure you as a Habs fan, you feel the same way.
Yep.
Do not enjoy it. But you know what makes it better? You know why he's such a good player? Because he's good. He's been good. He has been good for multiple years, and he is an absolute SHIT disturber.
Yes. Yes.
Like,
one of the best wingers in the league. You could try and make an MVP case for him. But yeah, Marchand's incredible. And do you know what's satisfying about Marchand in points? Do you know what my favorite clean hit of all time is?
I do, but tell me.
PK Subban on Brad Marchand. Everyone knows that hit. That was comeuppance. You know what I mean? There's a reason when he had that turnover in Game 7 against the Blues, and that picture at the end of the game of him crying went so viral. There's comeuppance there. There's a bit of, and funny enough, against Jordan Binnington losing. That funny that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, here's the problem. The conversation right now should be that Binnington finally got his fight and he got a bit of justice. However, I did not look up the refs for this, and that is a grave injustice. The refs stopped if people have not, I know we're a little late to this, but I just need to, Alex, if I gave you 10 tries to name the goalie who was going to fight Jordan Binnington, would Marc-Andre Fleury have been one of those 10?
Probably not.
No, absolutely not. So perpetual nice guy Marc-Andre Fleury goes down the length of the ice. The refs stop it. Freeman was mentioning because they didn't have their masks on. Hoopla. He also mentioned apparently because Fleury had fights in junior and got hurt. The refs were not thinking about that in that very second. I refuse to believe they knew that. Like, stop it. Do you think Sidney Crosby knows that off the top of his head? No, he doesn't. Probably found out after like the hoopla, and Fleury may have told him. Like, stop it. That's not realistic. By the way, shout out to Ron McLean saying that the rest did a good job there. Not surprised. I just like, what were those refs thinking? Like I said like 2 episodes ago, fighting's going to be out of the game in like a decade. By the way, the Q is proving me right now. But it's just like, I have to ask the question, why did you stop that? Forget about the masks and that. I've seen players take off their helmets before fights before. How did you not let this happen? Why are you protecting Jordan Binnington, who does nothing but make your job difficult because he causes all this crap? You gave him a match penalty too.
The ironic part of about all of this is how garbage the refs have been all year. Respectfully, like, I get it. It's a super hard job. I couldn't do that
the game's
anytime
fast.
soon. The game's fast, man. I 100% agree. But it's been so blatantly bad this year. And it's not even just the NHL. The NBA's having the same problem. I'm sure like MLB's just starting up. I'm sure we'll hear about it. There were controversial calls in the Super Bowl. So, like, listen, it's not an NHL only issue.
I don't remember much of that game, to be honest with you.
I know. No comment. I can't imagine they didn't allow that. But some of the other stuff is just magically okay. I don't get it. Just someone's gonna have to explain it to me like I'm an idiot. Like, how you don't let that happen. Just let them fight. Later, I've never seen more people in agreement on something in recent memory than everyone saying these two goalies should fight.
You know what's not a good sign, Alex? When your team is currently blowing it to the Wild, your goalie gets pulled, is making a big hoopla, and they're not even booing at that. They're booing at the refs breaking up the fight. Like, that's how bad, like, down bad those refs were. That is not good. That is remember when the goalie fight happened in the Battle of Alberta? And I think it got like 2 million views on YouTube, which for hockey is amazing, right? Like, that's otherworldly for this game. Binnington getting one is going to hit that peak too. Because ESPN's going to be all over that. Maybe not Stephen A. Smith, but like they would push the hell out of that. Because it's the bad guy taking his loss. I mean, who knows if he wins the fight or not? But like still, like it happens. It's just it's a shame, man. It's a shame. I have a lot more respect for Marc-Andre Fleury, by the way. I know I'm very critical of him, but like I love it. I love it so much.